and other one is end user. So end user is something like my manager. Okay, he need not to be tech savvy when it comes to developing the reports, data model and all. He is not aware. Okay, he knows Power BI some extent. Okay, he is the end user. He is the one viewing the report. And some cases what they do, right? So you tell me the report name, I go and view the report. That's all. He wants to look at the report and gain insight. And so since we are building the interactive reports dashboards, with that they will interact with the reports, and whatever the insights they wanted, they can get it. Okay, and the author, there are two types of users, right? Author and end user. Okay, and when it comes to the query parameter, okay, we create see, as an author you are responsible for data modeling, and number two is you are creating the parameters. You can create more than one parameter also. So using the query parameter, we are dynamically, right, dynamically changing the data, right? Dynamically we can change the data in your report and dashboards. And also, let's say in my company, so we are into retail, and my company, they have 1800 plus retail chains are there across the globe. Okay, and for each region, let's we have close to 25 region, all the across the globe, all this put together, right? 20 regions are there, or instead of saying 20, yeah, let's 15 regions are there. Okay, and in this case, if I wanted to view the report for each region, to create a report for each region, how many number of reports I have to create? 15 reports, isn't it? For each region, if I have to create separate report, 15 reports I have to create it. I don't have to create 15 reports. Instead, so using my query parameter, I can allow my end user to specify the region name, and then if he if once he specify the region, and if you press enter, the data related to that specific region will be loaded. See, the query parameter is related to data load. Okay, it will load the data into your model. Model is your Power Pivot, right? So Power in the model. Don't worry, we will have a detailed discussion about the data model, everything in the in the upcoming sessions. Okay, fine. So instead of creating 15 different reports, using the query parameter, we are allowing the end user to view whichever region they wanted to see it. We can allow them to view it. So, and we have discussed about three types of parameter: one query parameter, any parameter, list of values parameter. The list of values will restrict the users to view view the reports or the regions which they are intent to view the reports. Okay, for that purpose we are using LOB and list of values. And any is so any can be used by admin, and even the CEO level, all the people, they can use it. Query is not available on cloud service. Once you publish your report on cloud, the query parameter is not enabled because of security. Okay, you can I'll show you now how to publish these. In the last session we discussed until how to create parameter, but we did not see how to publish it on cloud. After publishing it, how to pass the value to the parameter, right? Where to pass the value on the cloud service. So net using query parameter, we can enable the end users to view any type of any specific region or any specific country. We are allowing them to view it. Instead of building multiple reports with a single report itself, we are enabling them to view whichever region, whichever the area of interest specific to that. They can enter the value in the parameter, based on which the data will be loaded. But other advantage of parameters in the case of source system connection. For example, you are a manager, you are the regional manager, and under your region there are two locations. Okay, location A, location B. You are a regional manager, RM. You are under your belt there are two locations are falling under your belt. So what you are doing is, right, for this, they are using one database. For this location, they are using different database. Okay. So, with the one single report, by prompting this manager to specify the database which they intend to view it, right? So you allow them to enter the database which they want to view it. So for this purpose also, we use query parameter, so that there will be a enhanced control, right? We are restricting the users to connect to the specific databases to refresh the report and see it. Okay. And also the author can publish the desktop Power BI desktop report in the file in the form of PBIT also. Apart from publishing the report on the cloud, they can share the PBIT file also. Okay. The PBIT file, what they can do is, right, so in the PBIT file, since you have already used the query parameter, when they open this, when they import it into their local Power BI desktop, it will import all the metadata, query parameter definitions and your model definitions and metadata, everything will get imported locally. And but they will be using their respective databases. Okay, when it comes to, let's say if you allow, when they open the report, if that report prompt them to enter their specific database, database name, right, or server name and database name, they will go and their report will point to that specific database and that specific server. So you have enhanced control, and also you are allowing the users to view the data which they are intend to see it. Okay. And another advantage is we are loading only, we are filtering the data at the source system itself. For example, you publish this report on the cloud, right? And what the user do is they are supposed to enter. It will prompt them to enter the location detail or country, right, based on the parameter or the type of parameter you created on a column, right? So for example, you created a parameter for a country column, so it will prompt them to enter the country name or the region name. When they enter the region name, something like North, and country name also, there are two parameters, country, United States and North. When they enter it, based on these two parameter values, the data will get loaded from their respective server, and when the visuals will get populated accordingly. Okay. And then they use slicer there. So using the slicer, what they do is within their specific region, they can do slicing and dicing, right? And also they can filter the data within this specific region data. Okay, now you understood the difference between slicer and query parameter. Query parameter is while loading the data, you wanted to filter it, and once you filter the data, right, or once you filter the data and load the data in the model, right, within that filtered data, if they want to do some kind of slicing, dicing, for example, south and north region is managing it. Okay, in the south, this specific manager, right, A and B locations, within these two, A and B, you can choose between these two, and you can view the sales performance in this region. And when you choose in the slicer, when you choose, then you can see that one. Okay, so that's it. But top level VP and above, they are supposed to view everything. Okay, they are supposed to be given access to every region at any given point in time. They should be allowed to view any regions. So the slicer will allow that to view everything. But in that case also, right, in that case, we are not going to restrict them. The stakeholders, they like VP and all, right? So manager level, middle manager, so they are supposed to view only their specific region. Moreover, they don't have time to view other regions data and all. In simple time, we are using the query parameter to dynamically change the data in your report and dashboard by loading the data into your data model. So that is the difference between parameter and slicer. Okay, now I'll show you with the last one. The last session we did not I did not show you the publishing the, so this is the one. Okay, look here, I just we are going to test the parameter what we enable. Look here, this is the one we created it. This is the query parameter. So if I select here, one second, the edit parameter is used to reason. For example, I just want to see the Germany data. So already it is in Germany. Let me do one thing. I just check Australia. Though query parameter is available here, it is not available on cloud. Okay, it is not enabled. I'll publish it and we'll see now. We'll test it now. See, it is not that they will prompt the end users only with the region, and see they'll be using in real time. We'll be using multiple parameters, where the region, country name, and then date also. Okay, plus the server name. You should be knowing the server name also. Without knowing if you know, see every other parameters, you will be knowing it, right? You can simply, any layman can know. So north region, USA, you can type it, but the server name, you should be knowing it. Again, the server side also, they would have made some kind of restrictions. I just publish it on this dev3 folder. Query parameter 2, and we'll open this in a new tab, and I'm going to open this in another tab to compare it side by side. Okay, anyhow, I cannot see it here. Australia, where is my report? Here Australia, the same thing. Here we see 7,355, the same value we are able to see here also. Okay, and now I just want to check the, okay, I just go here. You can schedule the refresh there also. Here you need to specify the gateway connection. In my case, the gateway is running here. Make sure that in your local system you have installed standard data gateway, and you need to make sure that if it is running. When you click on service setting, you should be able to see like this. The gateway is currently running NT service. Okay, fine. So now you need to select, you need to click on here. You need to map to, I can say this one. So in your case, what you need to do is you need to click on add to gateway. So this is my standard gateway. Personal gateway will not be helpful. Better you can install standard gateway. And once your standard gateway installed, and if it is running in your local laptop, you can see it here. So this is my gateway name, and on the right side you can see the arrow. If you click on it, so in my case it is already there. What you need to add to gateway. That file path you need to add it here. Here you need to specify your Windows username, password, including your desktop name. So look here, this is my laptop name. For this one, the backward slash, and welcome is my username, and password I've given here, and this is the full path you need to go. This is my Windows folder, right? The along with the file name, I specified the folder name also, full path, and the source type. Make sure that you are specifying file. In case SQL, you need to specify SQL server. Here you can give some meaningful name. Okay. In my case, already given. I see here I did not give any meaningful name, but anyhow, so here I have given it already. You need to add it. Once you add it, it will get added. That's all. So once it gets added, you can find that data source name here. You can find the data source name here. You need to map this one with that one. You need to, for example, yeah, so this is the one, right? So already there, I just mapped it, or I say QP demo filter by something like that. Fine. And then data source credentials. Credentials are not validated as they are yet to skip test condition. Look here, something problem here, and I just choose this one. Yes, now admin has granted access. Credentials are not required. Good. And so you need to make sure these steps you have done it correctly. And when you expand this one, you should not see any error here. Okay. Credentials not required. Admin has granted access. Fine. And you need to click on parameters, because this report we have used query parameter. When you click on this, you can see country param and Australia. Look here, we have created the query parameter. You can also go and check it in the Microsoft document. So they don't allow this one. Okay. For example, here Australia. Here what I do is I just go and say United States. This is what so see what I do is end user job. Let's say I am the manager. So somebody developed the report and they published on cloud. My job is just go and type the value for the parameter. If I type condition, if I apply, the report should get display United States related information. The visual should get refreshed with the United States data. I'm going to apply it now. Fine. I just go back here. Currently it is in Australia. You need to refresh it here. When you click on this, it will take some time. But here I just specified everything, but I did not schedule the refresh, isn't it? Just specifying the connection details are not sufficient. So you need to enable the refresh here. Okay, you need to enable. But in this case, what I do is, to show you this one, I just go directly here. Here you have refresh now button is there. I just click on it. One is schedule refresh. This one is full refresh. You want to do it now itself, something like that. Okay, and you just come and click on it here. But still the refresh will take some time. This one or this one? Yeah, it shows United States now. 1 second, let me just check. Yeah, here also it should reflect same file, right? Okay, what I will do is I just better enable it. And probably what I do is I just add another time. Now it is 5:25. I just make it by 5:30 p.m. India time. Probably after 5 minutes we'll come back and check it. Here I entered parameters, right? Yeah, United States, correct. or else let me open a fresh one. Since I already opened it, it is confusing. Anyhow, let us wait for 5 minutes. The refresh will take some time. This is the latest date. It is not showing anything. Okay, let us come back after 4 minutes. I am going to leave this as it is. Meanwhile, make sure that all the configurations, whatever we did, was correct. You can click on this one, it will take you directly instead of going there. Configure last refresh February 5/22, February 5. Okay, refresh history. On demand. So on demand completed 5/23. 5/23. Yeah, it got completed. So in that case, why it is not showing? I'll use the on demand should work. So maybe this is the one spelling mistake. With that some issue. When I use that connection, right, it is throwing an error. Since I go back, yeah, you need to check here. This is what we posted earlier, hence I changed it. Now the refresh is going on. You don't have to wait till the scheduled refresh. Now it has been done, and I just go here and yes, it got refreshed now, right? I close the other one, it is refreshed. Now it got refreshed. Good. So probably, right, you need to wait for some more time. And the on demand, so as soon as you click that refresh button, so this is on demand, and if you want to schedule it, you can schedule it. Okay, you want to instantly refresh it, you can do it. But this don't ever do it in the real time scenario, because we will be using huge volume of data. It takes a lot of time, it consumes a lot of resources on your cloud. So you normally, what we do is once we complete the full refresh, we do the incremental refresh. Okay, fine. So it got refreshed now. Fine. So if I do, let me do it one more time. Super, it's doing that. So the query parameter, though we mentioned query parameter, it was not working there. Fine. So we are done with that. So next we discussed about the data flow. What is a data flow? Why we need to use a data flow? Data flow is, in simple term, data flow is a Power Query editor on cloud. You can do data transformation on cloud instead of doing the data transformation in your local Power BI desktop. So the next question is, where the data flow data gets stored? Azure Data Lake. So Power BI Cloud Service, once you create and save the data flow on cloud, Power BI service, it will store that data flow on the Azure Data Lake. What is Data Lake? Azure Data Lake is a very popular term. Most of them, they use Data Lake, not Azure. Data Lake is the commonly used by the data engineers and the data engineering team. Okay, so it is a cloud storage. So that is where Right, anyhow, we'll discuss about Azure Data Lake also later point in time. And okay, now the question is, when should I use data flow? So data flow is independent from our report. So the question is, Power Query Editor, instead of doing the data transformation on cloud, so why can't we do it in my Power BI desktop? But when you do Power BI desktop, obviously it is available locally. It is not available in a centralized place. The next question is, so what kind of use cases can I go for creating the data flow? Can I create all my, let's say I have 100 files, for all the 100, let's say I have 3 or 5, 10 fact tables are there and 20 dimension tables are there. Can I create a data flow? Because I need to do data cleaning for all these tables. In that case, for each table, can I create a data flow? Not required. For example, the data which you are using it, or the one which you are doing the data transformation, data cleaning, if that data is used by multiple users, then what you can do is, then you can go for creating a data flow on your Power BI cloud, so that those authors, report authors or end users, right, those want these pre-processed data as part of their reporting, they can go ahead and import it in their report. It's something like reusable. Already we created something. If anybody wants, go and pick up. If you need this data, you go and pick up from there. So in real-time scenario, what cases we are going to, which tables that we created. So for the dimension tables, you have something like date dimension, region dimension, and product dimension. These are the commonly used, and it is used across the subject area. The products are inventory. You have something like inventory fact table. For that also you will be using date dimension, and you will be using product dimension. So these dimensions, if you want to do some kind of data cleaning, everything, you can create a data flow for that, so that across the subject area, the people can use those tables. That's why we call something like bus matrix. I don't know how many of you are data warehouse guys here. So as part of high level design, we create a bus matrix. The bus matrix, we list down all the dimension tables and all the fact table, and we make on subject areas, which subject area, which all dimensions are used. If the dimension tables are used more than one subject area, you can instantly get an idea. So these dimensions are candidate for data flow. We can create data flow for this kind of thing. And again, so you can the incremental refresh, everything we can set up. We will discuss that in a separate session about the incremental refresh, everything. So now what we will do is, I just